Hey, it's Mr. C, and today we're going to do Saxon Math Lesson 85. This is where we're using cross products to solve proportions. Now, we've done a lot of canceling before and done some crossing. We're going to do it in a slightly different way today. And the reason we're doing that, this helps us to establish proportions. Remember in our last lesson, when we did proportions and we were scaling something like 2/4 to 4/8. And that's easy because we can see that 2 goes into 4 and 4 goes into 8. And so that's easy. But what if the numbers don't go into each other? Is 2/4 equal to 5/7, for example? Well, there's an easy way to check that, and it's using this method of cross products to solve proportions. All right. So we're going to look, it says we've compared fractions by writing fractions with common denominators. A variation of this method is to determine whether they have cross products. So here we're looking at 3/4 and 6/8. If the cross products are equal, then the fractions are equal. So all we have to do is multiply. Products, remember, is multiplication. We multiply the denominator of one fraction with the numerator of the other. So 8 times 3 is 24. 4 times 6 is 24. So they're equal. That means that the ratios or the proportions are equal. Both cross products here are 24, and since they're equal, we can conclude that the fractions are equal. Equal fractions have equal cross products. This is just something that you'll have to remember. This is a way of checking your proportions to see if they're equal. So here we can look at this diagram where it has 3/5 and 4/7. Now it looks like it's pretty close to equal, right? 3/5 and 4/7 looks about the same. But we can check using cross products to see if they are equal. So here we're going to look at 3/5. Is it equal to 4/7? Now we're just going to multiply. 7 times 3 is 21. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 and 21 are not equal. So in this case, even though it looks close, they're not exactly equal. So 3/5 is greater than 4/7. Now, if we want to check on that, we have our 3/5 and our 4/7. We can simply rename the fractions with common denominators. This is what we have done in the past. So if we're looking at the common denominator between 5 and 7, 5 can't go into 7 and 7 can't go into 5. They're not multiples of each other. So the easiest thing to do here is simply to multiply them by one another. So if we do 5 times 7/7 and 4/7 times 5/5, then we're going to have a common denominator. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 5 is 35. So now they're the same. And on top we do 7 times 3 is 21. And 4 times 5 is 20. So now we can compare easily. 21 is greater than 20. So 3/5 is greater than 4/7. But that's a lot more work than just doing the cross products to solve. Okay? So here we just see the work there, 21 and 20ths. All right, so do these ratios form a proportion? All we have to do is multiply across. 12 times 12, we know from our math facts, is 144. And if you know your 18 times tables, you can do math facts this way, 8 times 18. I don't know my 18 times table, so I'm just going to divide that 18 by 2 to get 9. 8 times 9 is 72. Then I have to multiply that by 2. 72 times 2, 70 times 70, or 70 plus 70 is 140, and 2 plus 2 is 4. So again, that's 144. Now we can just write that out too if you want to do your 18 times 8. And we get 64 and 144. But try doing it with mental math. It's good to do these kind of multiplications, 8 times 18, using mental math. You just have to be creative. All right, so 144 equals 144. So these are equal proportions. 8/12 is the same as 12/18. They both reduce, Remember, we tried this in our last one. If we reduce them as small as we can, the common factor in 8/12 is going to be 2, or yeah. So if we divide by 2, we get 4/6, and then that can reduce to 2/3. 12/8 can reduce to 6/9, and then that reduces to 2/3. So we see that they're equal that way too. So this is just giving you another way to see if your proportions are equal. Okay? Since equivalent ratios have equal cross products, we can use cross products to find an unknown term. So this is where it's going to come in handy. By cross multiplying, we can form an equation and then solve that equation to find the unknown term in the proportion. So in this example, we're looking to see if 6 is to 9, 10 is to what? Now remember, we did this last time in doing our proportions, but this time we're going to use cross multiplication. So 9 times 10 is 90, and 6 times m is 6m, and now we can just say 6m equals 90. Now we need to get that m by itself, of course, so we divide by 6 and divide by 6, then we get m equals 15, I believe that's right. 90 divided by 6 is 30, yeah, it's 15. So we can solve it that way. Okay, so we get 6m equals 90, and then m equals 15. So we can just use our cross products to solve for the unknown product. Use cross products to find the unknown term in this proportion. So the first step, it looks like, is we're going to have to write it out. 15 is to 21 as what number is to 70? Okay, so we have to write it out. That's the first step. Now we can cross multiply. Could we do canceling here? No, because we don't know if these have common numbers, because this is an unknown factor. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply 70 times 15, and I'm going to write this up here like this. 70 times 15 equals 21 times x. Now, we're going to have to get rid of the 21 over here, divide by 21 to just get x. So then that means over here, we're going to divide by 21 as well. Now, this one, we can multiply 70 times 15 and divide by 21, and we can do that all by hand. But if we want to use some canceling here, let's just take the factors of 21, which would be 3 and 7. And look, 70 and 7 have a common multiple, so that would be 10 to 1. And 15 and 3 have a common multiple, so that would be, if we divided by 3 on each of those, then that would be 5 and 1. Then we just have 10 times 5 is 50 equals x. Let's check our work here. Fortunately, we have the PowerPoint to show us if we did our work correct. So 15 is to 21 as x, or w, is to 70. Then we get 15 times 70 is 21w. So far so good. Now they canceled out like we did. Oh, they didn't pull it apart. Yes, they did, because they marked it there. They just didn't show it on the thing. And they cancel it out, and they get the answer is 50. So it all checks out. All right, here's our practice set for the day. I'll leave this up for a few seconds so you can copy down these problems if you want to practice them. Cross products to determine whether or not it's a proportion. Let's actually just do some of these real quick. 6 times 11 is 66. 9 times 7 is 63, so that one's not a proportion. No. Here we've got 6 times 12 is 72. 8 times 9 is 72, so that one is an equal proportion. 6 times x is 6x, and 90. So this is the same one we did, I think. So 90 divided by 6 is 15, so x equals 15. Okay? And here, 12 times 20 and 16 times y, that one takes a little more work, but we can just do, so 12 times 20 equals 16y, divide by 16, divide by 16. If we want to pull that out into two factors, let's do 8 times 2. Oh, no, that doesn't work. Let's do 4 times 4, because that goes into both of them. 4 times 4. 4 goes into 25 times, so if we divide by 4, we'll get 1. 20 divided by 4 is 5. Then here, 4 goes into 12 3 times, so if we divide by 4 here, we get 1. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Then 3 times 5 is going to give us 15 for our answer. So y equals 15. All right. And then finally, use cross products to find the unknown term in this product. 10 is to 15 as 30 is to what? Go ahead and try to solve that on your own. So this is lesson 85, I believe, on using cross products to solve unknown equations. Good luck.